customers are happy to pay $1 for every foul ball returned to the souvenir booth tonight.
And welcome to live coverage of Swift Current 57's baseball. Joined a little bit in progress, Logan Garza on the mound. Out number 2 via the strikeout as he retires Noah Barron. Jason Wallace to the plate now out of Fontana, California. All right, a little bit behind here at Mitchell Field, but glad that you can join us. Swift Current 57's 15-9, third place in the WMBL's Eastern Division, taking on the Yorkton Cardinals in the basement, looking for their third win of the row. Logan Garza on the mound for Swift Current. Hasn't seen a lot of starts this year, but he's got 2 quick outs and deals a strike. Garza filling up the zone here as home plate umpire Trevor Stoico liking what he's seeing. Garza on the year, 8 appearances. This is his first start, 8 2/3 innings of work. He's only allowed 3 hits, 3 earned runs, a 15-1 strikeout to walk ratio, 3 saves on the year for Garza, and an earned run average of 3.11. So Garza 2-2 now with 2 away. Working against the Yorkton Cardinals, Jason Wallace, out of Fontana, California. 7 runs batted in on the year. Yorkton Cardinals, 11 home runs as a team. As Garza, righty on lefty, finds the plate on that offering, and that'll do it. We will head to the bottom of the first. 57's on the sticks.
And no one left on after a half inning and scoreless between the Swift Current 57's and the Yorkton Cardinals. It's now time for tonight's first program draw and autographed baseball compliments of the Swift Current 57's. If you have program number 107885, that's 107885, please go to the souvenir booth to claim your prize. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you buy a program so you don't miss out on the rest of tonight's giveaways, and that you'll have a part 2 in the RBC Wealth Management Playbacks Bingo. The game sheet is located in the middle of your program. Make sure to get your Innovation Credit Union 50/50 draw tickets tonight. The draw will be made in the 8th inning. Fans, be sure to check out the Swift Current 57's website. Updated stats and standings, player profiles, and news on upcoming events, all available at swift57s.ca.
Zach Taylor is going to start for the Yorkton Cardinals in this one. Taylor on the year, 5 appearances, only 2 starts, so this is start number 3. Left-handed pitcher, has worked 11 1/3 innings, allowed 7 hits, only 3 earned runs, a 4-6 strikeout to walk ratio. He's 0-1 on the year, but only a 2.38 earned run average, so keeps runners off the board. Yorkton Cardinals, they have the league's bottom team batting average and the league's worst team ERA as well. So it's been a tough summer thus far in Yorkton. They're in the midst of a 7-game skid, looking for a positive here in Swift Current. Keel Crumweedy, who's been hitting real good as of late, to lead off for the 57's here. Keel coming into this at bat, hitting an ominous .414. First pitch to Keel is up, ball 1. Crumweedy with a .588 batting average over his last 7 days. 10 hits in his last 17 at-bats. Taylor goes curveball that finds the strike zone. 1-1 to the native of Glasgow, Montana. Keel Crumweedy, bottom of the first, still scoreless. 57's and Yorkton. Yorkton Cardinals' first trip to the sense-making city of Swift Current. As Taylor goes back to that curveball and leaves it up. 2-1 the count to Keel. Scoreless tie and a very good crowd on hand here. If you're watching this game in Swift Current, it's going to be a beautiful night for a baseball game. Get on over to Mitchell Field. Just a big enough breeze to keep the mosquitoes at bay. All that recent rain, yeah, it's caused some damage around town, but it certainly greened up the field here. Crumweedy way out in front of that off-speed offering. 3-2 the count. Taylor's got great movement on that curveball. He's not going to blow you away with the velocity, but offers a finesse pitch to Crumweedy. That's popped up into foul territory, and Wallace over towards his team's bullpen. Unable to track that foul ball down. Count remains 3-2 to the ominous Keel Crumweedy. Alex Stinnett is on deck. Tanner Holen waiting in the wings as well. Zach Taylor dealing to Matthew Corman. Jason Wallace at first base. Nick Hoyt at second. Grant Kasanke is the shortstop. Logan McDougall out of Summerside PEI is the third baseman. Trenton Lee in left field. Phil Whalen in center. Sean Monroe patrolling right field. As Alex Stinnett comes to the plate, the native of Mesa, Arizona. Keel Crumweedy walked at that last at bat. Pitch is outside. Keel's going to gallop uncontested to second base here. Nobody out. 1 on. Fastball up and in. Quick 2-0 to Stinnett. Zach Taylor out of Humble, Texas goes curveball. Inside, 3-0 count to Stinnett. Stinnett swang at a 3-0 in Melville and ended up doubling over the weekend on Sunday night. There's a rare 3-0 curveball for strike 1. Any pitch, any time, I guess, from Zach Taylor, starting pitcher for the Cardinals. Ball 4. So 2 on via walk.
Now batting, sponsored by Living Sky Casino, the designated hitter number 40, Tanner Holen.
Couple stray curveballs inside and at eye level. Tanner Holen observing that from the on-deck area. That might alter his approach to this AB a little bit. One word I'd use to describe Tanner Holen, just watching his approach pregame and during the game, is pro. He's got his routine. Very professional, business-like demeanor. He gets a piece of that 73-mile-an-hour offering. That's going to be extra bases up over top of the right fielder. 1 is going to come in to score here at least. 2 are being sent, and they're going to try and get Holen at third base, but not before an RBI triple that cashes in 2. Stinnett and Crumweedy touch home. Holy Holen, a triple that scores 2 runs, in the 57's quickly up a deuce here in the bottom of the first.
City of Swift Current, the first baseman, number 32, Jack Large.
Ball 1 to Large. Tanner Holen, who tripled moments ago, awaits on deck. 2 walks and a triple have the 57's up a deuce here in the first. Large pounds baseball down the first base line. Holen will touch home. 57's up a field goal. Look at Jack. He's got the wheels on. He rumbles his way to second base.
Now batting, sponsored by Nutrient Ag Solutions. The left fielder, number 27, Zach Howard.
Zach Howard a little nicked up. Didn't see much action over the Canada Day long weekend. Howard out of Land O'Lakes, Florida. Oh. Cards coach Robbie Dombrowski out, and he's going to switch up some personnel here. It looks like Monroe is going to leave right field. Did he blow a tire or something? An equipment issue? That ball was hit at him. He's looking at the bottom of his shoe. So some Cardinal personnel changes. Three 0 lead, no outs in this one yet, and already some personnel changes. And I just saw Monroe, number 20, just pull the rubber off the bottom of his shoe. So a literal blown tire. Hmm. One-0 count, none out. Zach Howard at the plate. Curveball, that's through the 5-6 gap. They'll pump the brakes on Jack Large as that's into shallow left field. And the Yorkton Cardinals still looking for an elusive first out.
SWT, the third baseman, number 28, Colby Seltzer.
So Nick Hoyt is now in right field.
Defensive changes for the Yorkton Cardinals, now playing second.
Tanner Huber out of Unity is the second baseman.
Nick Hoyt.
All right, runners on the corners here, and still nobody out. Zachary Taylor watches that ball fly out of here foul. Nothing in one the count. So a 3-0 57's lead on a picturesque night for baseball. Saskatchewan Twin Cities going head-to-head here. Southwest Saskatchewan Swift Current 57, Southeast Saskatchewan's Yorkton Cardinals. Two cities about the same size on opposite corners of the province. The 1-1. Oh, that's hit hard, but foul as Colby Seltzer puts adequate wood to baseball. Seltzer out of Fort Worth hitting .216 on the season. Happy that you could join us tonight, wherever you may be and whomever you may be cheering for. 1-2 pitch as Taylor deals fastball to Seltzer. That's fouled out of the ballpark. Straight south on the north-facing Mitchell Field. Breaking ball in the dirt. Blocked by Corman. Jared Binsfield on deck. Second meeting between these two teams this year. 57's victorious in Yorkton. Their first road trip of the year. Or second, rather. First in Moose Jaw. Breaking ball out. How do you like the full count? 3-2. Runners on the corners. Taylor sets. Fastball about at the letter. Seltzer is fouled straight back as he continues to battle here. "23 pitches deployed thus far by Taylor and still nobody out. Runner is in motion. Pitch is high. Bases are loaded. Colby walks.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 26, Jared Binsfield.
Robbie Dombrowski is going to take a nice slow walk out to the pitcher's mound as I don't know if creatures are starting to stir in the bullpen yet. I think Hoyt might be getting subbed out of right field. And that'll do it for Taylor. Wow. And let's see what's going on in the outfield here. Hoyt looks like he's moving to second base. Moving out to right field is Barron. And let's see who's going to end up pitching when all is said and done here. So Huber looks like he's going to warm up.
For the Yorkton Cardinals, number 14, Tanner Huber.
So Taylor, 25 pitches, didn't get an out, bases loaded, and a 3-0 57's lead. So Barron moves to right. Huber was at second base. Hoyt moves over to second. Huber comes in to pitch.
Defensive changes for the Yorkton Cardinals. Now playing right field, number 9, Noah Barron, and back at second base, number 23, Nick Hoyt.
So Jared Binsfield makes his way to the plate. Yorkton Cardinals looking for an elusive first out here. They trail 3-0, 25 pitches into the bottom of the first. Seltzer at first, Howard at second, Jack Large at third base. Huber, ground ball. They get the out at first. Large comes in to score. RBI for Jared Binsfield. And the 57's go up 4-0.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 11, Toby Allred.
So Toby takes a turn, empty bag at first now. Allred hitting .250 on the year. Or pardon me, .250 in his last 7 days. And Toby, fly ball into the outfield. One is going to come around to score. Seltzer is chugging home. RBI single for Toby Allred. And the 57's go up 6 with only 1 down here in the first.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 21, Torin Brozovic.
Pretty full house here at Mitchell Field tonight, as fans still straggling in here. This game has been going 25 minutes, and it's already a 6-0 lead. Breaking ball to Brozovic, strike 1 with 1 away. Toby Allred at first after scoring 2 with that single to left moments ago. And Toby's going to try and steal a base here. Oh, hit and run is on. Brozovic puts lumber to baseball. Toby's chugging to third, and that is past the left fielder. And Brozovic will make his way to second. An adventure in the outfield puts runners on at second and third. Keel Crumweedy now will have his second AB of the first inning here.
Shortstop, number 18, Keel Crumweedy.
So a single by Brozovic, and then advances to second on the error as Keel Crumweedy watches that breaking ball catch the outside corner. Righty on righty matchup, 0-1 to Keel. Second at bat, Keel's walked and scored this inning, and he puts lumber to baseball, hits that to left field, catch is made. Toby tags. Oh, the ball is dropped. Oh, no. 57's have put up a converted touchdown in the first.
Now batting, sponsored by JTS Bus Lines, the catcher, number 9, Alex Stinnett.
Oh, and are they ruling that catch was made? Okay. So the catch was made, and it must have been an issue in the transition from glove to throwing hand. Fly ball to short, and that's caught. Well, that went well for the 57's. Yorkton Cardinals, not so much. A converted touchdown by the Swift Current squad, 7-0 after 1. Top of 2, straight ahead. Sack fly RBI for Keel Crumweedy. Scoring Allred.
Seven runs, 4 hits, 2 errors, and 1 man left on. After 1 inning complete, it is 7-0 in favor of the Swift Current 57's over the Yorkton Cardinals. Fans, if you have program numbers 107891 or 107903, again, that's 107891 or 107903, please go to the souvenir booth. You'll be taking part in the Fabro Marshmallow Longest Drive contest later in today's game for Will and good folks at Fabro. And make sure you take a look at the new Wallace Construction Clubhouse, a new team office, home and visitor dressing rooms, washrooms, and an amazing view from that rooftop patio. If you're interested in renting the upper deck, contact any member of the Swift Current 57's board. Second inning is brought to you by Living Sky Casino. If you have program number 107879, that's 107879, please go to the souvenir booth to claim your prize, courtesy of Living Sky Casino. Leading off for the Yorkton Cardinals, the center fielder, number 6, Phil Whalen.
Phil Whalen leading off for the Cardinals. Logan Garza on the mound for the 57's. His first start of the year, and Logan's got some run support now. As that pitch just below the letters. 1-0 count here. Oh, that stings. That was redirected right off the mask of Alex Stinnett, popping it right off of his grill. I know that's probably happened to him a lot, choosing to pursue catching, and Trevor Stoico is going to do the good teammate thing here and dust off home plate and give Stinnett a chance to collect his composure after that 82-mile-an-hour fastball was redirected into his face. Stinnett good to go. I can't imagine you'd ever get used to that. That ball's fouled out of here.
Want to get that foul ball and bring it back to the souvenir booth to get a Looney.
One, two. Fastball up, 2-2. Garza mixing it up a little bit here. Cardinals going Waylon Corman Lee. Full count. Good AB for Waylon. 231 on the year, batting average. 3-2 pitch, the lefty Garza. Induces a fly ball, hit to shallow center, and there to make the catch and make it look easy is Torin Brozovic.
Now batting, the Swift Auto Body Beer batter. The catcher, number 30, Matthew Corman.
Fly ball. Allred, second baseman, ventures into the outfield, calls off Binsfield and right. Catch made.
Energy Beer Booth and Crutches concession until the end of this inning. Now batting, the left fielder, number 27, Trenton Lee.
Trenton Lee. Garza will step off. And that'll do it. Trenton Lee goes down swinging.
Strikeout for Logan Garza.
Bottom of two coming up still. 7-0, 57's.
No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on. After 1.5 innings, it's 7-0 in favor of the Swift Current 57's over the Yorkton Cardinals. Swift Current 57's are proud to have E&R Waterwise as the team water sponsor this season. Make sure to check out the Diamond Energy Beer Booth and quench your thirst this evening with beer, coolers, wine, and hard liquor all available. And make sure to get your Innovation Credit Union 50/50 draw tickets tonight. The draw will be made in the 8th inning. And make sure to visit the Wallace Construction Concession Booth and check out their menu with hot dogs, burgers, and many more delicious treats, including the famous Bird Dog. And make sure to check out the Crutches Concession in the new clubhouse for snacks, drinks, and an additional beer booth. Leading off for the Swift Current 57, sponsored by Living Sky Casino, the designated hitter, number 40, Tanner Holland.
Huber and Holen. RBI triple that brought in 2 the last time Holen was at the plate. He really got that 7-run first inning party started for the 57's. First pitch take by Tanner, 1-0. Huber, breaking ball. Misses down, 2-0. Holen's got to be thinking a nice chubby fastball will be coming his way here. Oh. Huber making a liar out of me, goes slider into the zone, 2-1. There's the nice chubby fastball. Holland just misses. Fouled into the backstop, 2-2. Ooh, curveball. Holland's out in front of it. Strike 3. So a good mix and moderate unpredictability from Huber.
By the city of Swift Current, the first baseman, number 32, Jack Large.
Jack Large to the plate. First pitch, breaking ball. Good take from Large. Large 1 for 1 since changing his walk-up music to John Denver. Large. Well, that woke everybody up as he deposits a foul ball onto Hayward Place, maybe into someone's pool over there. And a long strike for Huber, and I mean a long one. Goes breaking ball this time. Large on the ground. First base. Huber better hurry. He's there, and he wins the race against Jack. 2 down.
Now batting, sponsored by Nutrient Ag Solutions. The left fielder, number 27, Zach Howard.
Zach Howard. Breaking ball in. Righty-righty encounter. 1-0. 57's rained out yesterday in Melville. They played 3 complete, and the shortstop is just going to eat that one. As Kasanke hangs on to that ball that he had to take on the run. Howard infield single.
SWT, the third baseman, number 28, Colby Seltzer.
A 2-out infield single. Colby Seltzer, who had a lengthy at-bat that culminated in a walk his last time up. Seltzer, that was his 17th walk of the year. Oh, here comes Robbie Dombrowski. Let's see who's going to end up playing where after this one. Oh. No personnel changes. Breaking ball in. 57's with a 7-run bottom of the first if you're just joining us to build on this 7-0 lead. Fastball just misses up. 2-0 with 2 away. Nice breaking ball by Huber, strike 1. Good movement on that slider from Huber. If he can get command of it and throw it for strikes. Offers it up again, and now 2-2. Deuce is wild with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 down. Runner on at first is Zach Howard. 2-2, Howard in motion. Seltzer times that breaking ball and singles into left field. So back-to-back 2-out shots by the 57's. Have a couple on with 2 down.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 26, Jared Binsfield.
Binsfield, 2 home runs and 10 runs batted in so far this year. Seltzer and Howard on base. Oh, Binsfield wears a stray fastball in the bicep.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 11, Toby Allred.
Toby Allred hitting a run scored last time he was up. Couple RBI as well as he hit with bases loaded. Allred takes. 2-1. So with 2 outs, infield single by Howard, a more emphatic single by Colby Seltzer and Jared Binsfield, hit by a pitch. 2-1, and Toby check swing into an inadvertent bunt type scenario. He's thrown out. So the 57's leave the bases loaded, yet still maintain a comfortable 7-0 lead. Top of 3 coming right at you, 7-0 Swifty.
57's over to Yorkton Cardinals. It's time to go nuts for donuts with Tim Hortons and Kyle Ferguson. Good evening, 57's fans. Let's get loud and crazy for donuts, for donuts. Tim Hortons has some delicious donuts that I think people want to eat, so let's get loud and crazy. Let's go. How about over here? Anybody want to get loud and crazy? Oh, we want some donuts up there. Leading off for the Yorkton Cardinals, the shortstop, number 18, Grant Kosanke.
Grant Kosanke out of Slinger, Wisconsin, 240 on the year. Kosanke, Hoyt, McDougal, 789 due up for the visiting Cardinals. Garza, ooh, ouch. Just a bit in. First base runner of the game for the Cards.
Number 23, Nick Hoyt.
Hate to see that happen. Kosanke seems like a nice young fellow. All smiles as he came to the plate. A little tap of respect on the shin guards to Alex Stinnett, but he's going to wear a stray fastball in that lefty on righty encounter. 1-0 count. Kosanke on at first. Hoyt at the plate, potential for 2 here. 6-4 and 3. 57's turn 2.
W.W. Smith Insurance Premium Play.
Crumweedy, Allred, large.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 15, Logan McDougal.
Number 9 hitter is Logan McDougal. So 2 out and nobody on all of a sudden. Fly ball. Center field, Brozovic has to hurry, and he gets there in the nick of time. 3 up, 3 down. Nice little double play in there.
No one left on after 2.5 innings.
7-0 Swift. Bottom of 3 on the way.
And thanks to Dr. Risky Ibrahim from Southwest Medical Center, Dr. Kevin Chris Manson, Riley Gross from Railway Health Clinic, Central Avenue Physiotherapy, Alpine Dental, Jamie LeBlanc, and the Training Zone for their medical, chiropractic, physio, dental, and fitness support this season. And the 57's would like to thank Supplement King for being the team's nutritional supplement supplier this season. And the Coast Swiftburn Hotel is their host hotel for the teams this season. Fans, you can now follow the Snow Streaker Media webcast brought to you by Living Sky Casino and Nutrient Ag Solutions for all the 57's games on the Swiftburn 57's YouTube page. Go to swift57s.ca to follow all the action this season and follow the team on social media as well. This pitching change brought to you by Bruce Dagg at Cypress Motors. Now pitching for the Yorkton Cardinals, number 15, Logan McDougall.
So McDougall into pitch. Pitching by committee for the Cards.
Defensive changes for the Yorkton Cardinals. Now playing second base, number 14, Tanner Huber. At right field, number 9, Noah Barron. At third base, number 27, Trenton Lee. And at left field, number 23, Nick Hoyt.
Brozovic. Torrin Brozovic leading off for the 57's as Yorkton
leading off for the Swiftburn 57's. The center
move some personnel around.
Brozovic.
So let's see. Trenton Lee moves to third. McDougall comes in to pitch. Breaking ball to Brozovic. Is a strike. Pitching by committee for the Cardinals by the looks of it in this contest here. 2-1. Brozovic, ground ball. That's hit to second, where Huber, who was pitching, is now playing, and he 4-3s to Wallace for one down.
Now batting, sponsored by ACT, the shortstop, number 18, Keel Crumweedy.
Crumweedy, this is his third at bat of the game here in the bottom of the third inning. Got a run scored and a walk. Ball 1 to Keel. Oh, the old check swing bunt scenario as McDougall hurries over to cover first for the always adventurous 3-1.
Now batting, sponsored by JTS Bus Lines, the catcher, number 9, Alex Stinnett.
One and one with two down. Alex Stinnett facing the lefty McDougall. Ball hops away from Corman. Nobody on. No harm done. Breaking ball. Outside, 3-1. Two away here, bottom of the third, 7-0 Swift. Stinnett walked in 5.
Now batting,
Tanner Holen, who's 1 for 2 with 2 runs batted in.
40, Tanner Holen.
Holen. Oh. Curveball about forehead level. 1-1. 2 down, 1 on. Two and 1 now. Oh, there's the man. Read my mind. Got time. No, not a fan. Swift Current Mayor Dennis Perot joining us up here in the broadcast location, talking baseball and brewskis here as Holen all in on that swing. 2-2 the count, 3-2 rather. Let's give our pitcher McDougal credit here. Wow, you must have had a busy weekend. We were out in Melville for the Canada Day festivities and the 57's out there as we just await the 3-2 pitch here because we might be done at the inning. Oh, swung on and missed. Well, as the teams head to the dugout and everyone changes here, Frontier Days in Swift Current.
You bet.
From the mayor's eyes, how'd everything go?
Well, honestly, we had some weather. That's not a secret. The last 2 weeks, I think we had about 9 inches of rain during that time, which was a lot.
Ridiculous.
Just crazy. And it made some changes for us, but thankful to our staff, all the volunteers, we were able to change on the fly. It was supposed to be an outside show on Friday night with Coulter Wall, international recording artist, huge, just so big, from Swift, coming back to his hometown. And we were also having Nitty Gritty for an outside show. We had to make a change on the fly, brought the concert from the outside to inside, to our Innovation Credit Union Iplex where our Swift Current Broncos play. And Ryan, there was more people in that rink than I think has ever been in history.
I saw photos. I was out of town, unfortunately, couldn't be there, but I saw photos, and you had full stands and a full floor.
Exactly.
Which, full stands, you'll get that for hockey games in championship years. And the full floor, though, like never. Like
never. We've never had that kind of a just packed. And it was hot. That's not a secret. I'm sure you've heard that floating around. It was a warm night. It was, which that also helped us with beer sales.
Exactly.
We sold out of liquor twice, so there was truckloads actually piling into the Iplex, getting special concessions so they can navigate through all the traffic. So that was a huge success. It was packed at our fair, so it's Agribition days, so it's fun. We got your full midway happening. You've got all the carnival stuff as well. We've got a full trade show and just lots and lots going on, Ryan. And had to cancel the last night of the rodeo. That hurt. But our field was just in really tough shape. It'd been totally saturated, and it would have been dangerous for the animals. So
is that what the mayoral rain gauge, the official tally was? 9 inches of rain over 10 days?
That's where we're at in some parts. Some parts of our city. Some would be a little less. A little bit closer to your house towards the south side of Swift, Ryan. A lot of rain there, a lot of rain in the downtown, not as much over in our far west and far north. And it's strange, we've had some funny weather this year. Lots of hit and miss.
No, we certainly have, and it's been a crazy, crazy year. But I think the infrastructure and operations have certainly been there to help people out as best they can. I mean, the best they can with a bad situation, obviously.
You bet. There was one case, it was last Tuesday, at 4 p.m., we had 4 inches of rain in just under an hour. That's unheard of. For those that are listening in the south, I know you're used to some torrential downpours. Our systems here in Canada are not built to handle that, but that started at 4, finished at 5 p.m., and by 7:30, 8 o'clock, most of that water had gone through our system. We did have some blocked sewer mains, but it overall went pretty good. We definitely had some flooding in basements, but our community just rallied. Everybody worked hard to do the best they could.
Right on. Hey, nice to see a pretty packed house here at Mitchell Field for tonight's festivities. Biggest crowd of the year. Well, opening day we invited a lot of folks here, maybe a few more for that one, but probably between 400 and 500 I'd speculate here tonight, which is awesome to see.
You bet. If you're a betting man, Ryan, I'm going to peg the over-under at 435 today. And you can go either side of that, and you can pick the number. How's that sound?
Okay, sounds good. Well, I'll take the over.
I love it. You should never, ever bet on the under. That's always betting on a negative. I like that you're going the over. I knew you would.
I'm on the over. I'm thinking closer to 500
nice.
Here tonight.
I think you're going to be safe.
Folks on the patio.
You bet.
That rooftop patio. Once July rolls around, I think there's a few people booked in there. And if you're watching this game from Swift, you can watch from the roof of the new clubhouse. An amazing view up there. Harv Martinez and I watched a practice from there last week.
Oh, and how was it?
Fantastic
nice
view, actually. You get a great view like tonight, a lefty like Logan Garza, who has great movement on his pitches. when you watch from that perspective, then you get to see the movement on pitches from up there as Jack Large goes all in trying to catch that ball in foul territory in front of the Cardinal dugout. Jack's making a few new friends as he's over there.
You bet. You know, that was the second slip kind of over in that corner. I'm wondering that corner might still have be a little bit waterlogged.
Maybe a little damp.
It might be.
Well,
our grounds are definitely oversaturated right now.
Yeah, well, we've had our fair share of precipitation, as you mentioned, in the last little bit here, but ball field looks like it's in good shape nonetheless here.
The team sure works hard. All the players and coaches and I know volunteers put in an awful lot of time to ensure we do have, and it's not just my opinion, it's many others, the best field in the league. It's beautiful, it's spectacular. Everyone works hard to make sure of it.
Well, and Joe Carnahan, he knows all the nooks and crannies and ins and outs of this field. He's been here both as a player and a coach since 2000, so he certainly knows how it works here, and he knows how to grow some grass too. Like, if and when Joe does retire, which hopefully isn't anytime soon, I might just keep him around and have him look after my lawn for the summer, because man, like,
absolutely, we would both be well served for that.
Yeah, or maybe that could be a side hustle there. I know he's kept pretty busy as a shop teacher at the local high school, but foul ball hit to Jack Large's neck of the woods in foul territory.
Nice.
You had a chance to meet Jack Large yet?
I have. He's actually been in my basement playing pool along with, I think, the better part of this team has been over. I think he was over for pizza night, actually, and real fun-loving fella. If his mom and dad are listening, you've raised a beauty of a kid. Big fan. I really enjoy him. He's not just a cool last name, he's got a big presence as well on and off the field, and it's really fun to watch him interact with the kids.
Well, and the one thing, all personality, and I know some people are like, how come Jack Large is all over the 57 social media so much? Because he gives us so darn much to work with. Had his Canada Day hat on yesterday, and he found his maple leaf neck pillows. So just, and that's one of the things I love about this gig, and you're starting to experience it too as a billet parent, is just the personality of these kids. They come up here and they're high-end kids who go to great schools where they've learned a lot, come from really great families, and they're just such assets to the community, and such nice guys. I know you're experiencing that too, eh?
Well, and again, for the mums and dads and grandmas and grandpas that are listening from many, many miles away, Friday night, Coulter Wall, Nitty Gritty in Swift Current. That was big. That's one of our biggest concerts we've hosted here. Everyone was so excited for it. Because of the change of the venue, we were going to be short on bodies. We were short on some security guards. To the credit of the 57's, they had 10 of their teammates on one of their very few nights off, all over at our Innovation Credit Union iPlex, working very hard. And Corbett, my boy, number 33, Corbett Simonivia, they gave him the job, and it wasn't like it just happened to be.
Yep.
He worked exactly at the front of the stage, where people are pushing towards the kind of like a fence to make sure they can't, get on the stage.
Yep.
He stood there, and I had a good chance in checking him out when he was watching the Coulter show. There was a lineup of young ladies and sorry about this, Dad. I had to share it with you, though. A lot of young ladies were pretty impressed to be watching that and having he just had a great time. He got the best seat in the house for two amazing shows, and it all happened because these young fellas, they volunteered. Good things happen when you stand up to the plate, and I was very proud to see that, and they did a super job for our community that night.
Yep. Jack Large hits that into the outfield. Center fielder is there to make the catch, and one away. Large just missing on that pitch. And we'll give a plug here for a lot of American folks that are listening. I mean, the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, everybody knows who they are. Fishing in the Dark, Mr. Bojangles, and everything. We're talking about Coulter Wall. To our folks listening across Canada and in the States, if you're not familiar with the music of Coulter Wall and you like country music, and not like, new pop country Luke Bryan, like good soulful stuff.
Outlaw country.
I
Absolutely.
mean, this kid, he's from Swift Current, early 20s, I think?
23 years old.
Voice of a 50-year-old chain smoker, but just, unbelievable. The songs that he sings and the stories he tells, I know we're very proud to have him from Swift, eh?
Totally, and I've had the good fortune of knowing him right from the start when he first played at our Lyric in front of not many people, building up his confidence, building up some courage. It was him and a step drum, and as a matter of fact, he's now got a full band that travels with him. On July 4th, again for our American friends, he'll be playing at Willie Nelson's picnic party down south, and I tempted and teased my wife. I really want to go down and see it. It's all big names. All the people that'll be playing on July 4th with Willie Nelson yet to be invited by Willie. So Willie's got to be interested in your music. And talking with Coulter this past week, I know he definitely feels it's a real big honor. And I just heard
that's huge.
Sirius XM is going to be broadcasting it. So we'll get a chance to hear it live. I'm definitely going to have it on playing in my truck. And
for sure.
Really looking forward to that.
Might have to set up some speakers downtown and have like a listening party or something.
That's not a bad idea. Worst case scenario to be a listening party out on my deck if you're up for that.
Yep, I'll be there. You will be too. That's just unreal. So good to see the local boy do well there. I know Swift Current. I mean, it was the Swift Current Indians when he played for us, but alum John DeVisser.
Absolutely.
He's got an almond ranch in California now, and he texted me the other day just saying, who's this Coulter Wall from Swift Current? He discovered him whilst harvesting almonds. So
that's interesting.
He's starting to blow up in the States.
He really is. He was Hell or High Water, for those that have ever seen that movie. One of Coulter's tracks is on it. He's also in a Stetson hat commercial. His song is in that. He's made it in a couple of other movies, a couple other commercials, and he's actually quite big. And it's just been exciting. You know, I don't know, we're extra proud of him. Home and grown, hometown boy, and it's just been fun seeing him mature and develop. And if he happens to be rolling through your city, folks, it's something you just can't appreciate until you get a chance to see it live. His voice is so deep, so soulful, and his stories are so meaningful. I enjoy all of it.
Marcus Corman behind the plate making a good play. Pitch that was outside with a runner on. Colby Seltzer is in motion. He's there.
Safe.
As he manages to swipe second. Colby Seltzer, his family's up from Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, wow.
So glad he got the opportunity to swipe second. And 3-0 count now in scoring position. Jared Binsfield trying to bring him home as Seltzer in front of family here. And I know a lot of folks watching and listening back home. 3-0 to Binsfield. And for the second time tonight, Binsfield's going to wear one in the upper bicep. Empty bag filled at first. Binsfield, the native of Saskatoon. City relations with Swift Current and Saskatoon, all good?
Pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Mayor Charlie Clark and I, we do text often. He's got his hands full up there. Although we're a year and a half out of election, there's already somebody challenging his seat, and he doesn't have it as easy as we do here in Swift Current, Ryan. You know, Swift Current's got relatively low crime. We've got no bad part of our city. Every place is actually a really nice place to be, and great schools, beautiful parks and walking trails, and that can't be said the same for Saskatoon, although it's pretty in its own right.
The Paris of the Prairies is what they often call themselves.
Yeah, and that'd be a bit of a stretch, I think. But if I was honest with myself, their crimes on the rally up, and poor Mayor Charlie Clark, he's got to deal with quite a bit of that. And I know he's trying hard. They had a really good Canada Day ceremony. Luke, my son, was actually there yesterday.
Oh yeah.
He wanted to go find Mayor Clark. He wanted to go say hi on behalf of the city of Swift, and didn't get that opportunity.
Civic relations.
Absolutely, trying to build up those relationships.
Toby Allred, a couple of pitches around the letters here. As 3-0 the count. Toby likely to take here with runners on at first and second. Torin Brozovic on deck. As McDougall finds the strike zone on that offering.
That's you, Ray.
Oh. 3-1 the count now to Toby Allred out of Arizona. Lots of Arizona representation on the 57's this year.
There really is this year, and
oh
wow, another hit player.
Toby's going to get that one in the lower body. As back-to-back hit batsmen have loaded the bases here.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 21.
You came a little bit late. What was the score when you arrived? 7-0 now. To the credit of the Yorkton Cardinals, they've stopped the bleeding after that 7-inning first.
You bet. We rolled in actually right when our anthem was singing, took off the hats and got a chance to be there for that. My wife Leah's here with me, and so we watched together as the 57's had just a really fun and exciting first inning where could really do no wrong. And unfortunately for Yorkton, they definitely got stung a few times.
Brozovic, ground ball. That's going to be a tough play to make. 4-3, and they get him. And once again, the 57's leave 3 out there, but still in good command of things. 7-0 the score. We'll be back with the top of the fifth in just a moment. More 57's baseball coming up.
Left on after 4 innings completed, 7-0 in favor of the Swift Current 57.
All right, Phil Whalen leading off for the Yorkton Cardinals. Logan Garza on the mound here, top of the 5th, and Whalen is going to deposit that one towards 19th in Swift Current.
And bring it back to the souvenir booth to get a loony.
A loony as the Swift Current youth try and corral that baseball. Ryan Schweitzer and Swift Current Mayor Dennis Perot joining us up here. Loving this crowd tonight. This is awesome.
This is awesome. You know, I pegged the over-under at 435. You took the over. That was very smart. During our last break, I kind of did a little bit of a peek and tried to do a rough count, and you're definitely got me, Ryan. I don't know what I'm going to – I can't remember what our bet was, but I'm hopeful it was low.
Well, I think it might be another can of whatever it is in front of us
Sarsaparillas,
here. Yes,
call
for
it.
sure.
Another can of wobbly pops up here.
Let's go with that as Garza strikes out Whalen. Logan Garza on tonight,
Strikeout for Logan Garza.
as he's done a good job of keeping the Cardinals off base and at bay.
The catcher, number 30, Matthew Corman.
Matthew Corman, the catcher. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, what a pretty night in Swift. You know, our Canada flag right behind center field is just barely getting blown right now. Very nice, sunny, no clouds, and just a beautiful evening here in our city. A lot of times we get some high winds here, like we had just last night, actually, and the night before. So this is a treat for baseball.
Well, they say Saskatchewan, it's either windy or full of mosquitoes, but never at the same time.
That's interesting. Land of the living skies. That's a good line for all of us.
In the city where life makes sense. As 2-0 is fouled out of here by Corman, the catcher. Make it 2-1 now. I know your wife Leah, she's on the board this year with the 57's.
You bet.
How's she liking that experience?
She's enjoying it. She's I don't know what the actual title is. I call her the queen of the volunteers. She's in charge of all things volunteering here. And
all red, 4-3. Nice play there.
Nice.
Carry on.
Nice play. Just going to say this entire franchise, everything here is run with volunteers. So she makes sure we've got 50-50 takers. Her brother's selling 50-50s tonight. She's make sure there's people taking tickets and taking cash, selling souvenirs, and all the other jobs that are happening here. So she does a super job, and she wanted to step up because we're always at the ballpark anyway, and they were short a couple bodies. They wanted some change, and as far as I know, it's been pretty good. I mean, she's voluntold me now for a couple of nights. I think I've had just about every job. I got told tonight at supper I think I'm volunteering tomorrow. So.
Attaboy.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a great chance to be a part of it.
Back-to-back strikes by Logan Garza facing Trenton Lee here. Logan Garza filling up the zone tonight. 0-2 the count with 2 away here in the top of the 5th inning. Still a 7-0 lead for the hometown 57's as Garza is swinging strike 3. And that'll do it. Garza dicing up the Yorkton Bats tonight. He's got to be pitching with a little confidence, having some run support in the form of that 7-0 first inning lead.
Absolutely. You know, the boys in black and orange are sure looking nice tonight. They're really developing and playing as a team. I've noticed a lot more, you know, from my billet standpoint, they seem to be doing a lot more things. I noticed there's a lot more group chats and a lot more hanging out, lots more visiting, and for those that have been a part of a team, we know that all pays huge dividends on the field for later on when you start to know your teammates as not just players but as friends and buddies. And I love seeing in the month of July how these guys really start to develop that. I mean, it is a short season. That's not a secret, but the advantage is they're on the road all the time. They're always here at a ball diamond. It is a busy season, and so they get a really compressed time frame with the entire team, and it just seems to click. You know, credit to Coach Joe. He finds character players, Ryan. That's what he finds.
That's what he looks for first. Good character, and then the rest just kind of seems to look after itself. You know, I'm going to get a shot of this clubhouse here.
I think that's a good idea. You know, really proud of the clubhouse. For those that are getting a chance to see this from Ryan, this was a partnership with the City of Swift Current along with the 57's. Now, the 57's went out of their way to find partners, and I want to say thank you to Wallace Construction, Flyer Electric, and Crutches Plumbing.
Yeah, and you know, I want to ask you about that partnership, because, you know, doing the WNBL tour, and there's other markets in this league that are of similar size to Swift Current. You know, you got Brooks, you got Weyburn, you got Yorkton, Melville, significantly smaller than Swift Current, but still considered a small market team. So, and they always say, like, oh, it would sure be great, you know, if we had the same support from the city that the Swift Current 57's do. Now, I mean, you're not pumping your own agenda and just funneling money towards your favorite sports team. As that's hit back, and that's to the wall. Keel Crumweedy,
Nice double.
just a few feet away. He stands up with a double at second base. But, talk about that relationship and, how that works. And maybe if you were to advise those teams who are envious of the civic support that the 57's get, what approach would you recommend they take?
Well, when I first joined council, and this would be 9 years ago, I had the privilege of serving on council for a couple of terms before becoming mayor. When I first joined, our 57's were not experiencing the same success on and off the field that they're experiencing right now. And they came to our city with, honestly, hat in hand. They were looking for a new clubhouse. They didn't have one, and they had very, very lofty visions on what they were looking for. I think the budget at that time was something close to $2 million, and it was a beautiful facility. But at that point in time, we really weren't getting a lot of people out to the ballpark, Ryan. We had good players, we had good teams, but it wasn't clicking.
Yeah.
They came back to us, I think it was in my second term, and we had good conversations. And immediately after becoming mayor, Harv Martinez, long-standing, great person involved with the 57's as a coach, as a player, and in my view, more as a mentor and as an executive chairman is how I would consider him. Mm-hmm. Him and Coach Joe presented to myself and to our council, they wanted a clubhouse. And the voice of our council, the voice through me was, you come to us with a partner, that's one. You come to us with a reasonable expectation of what this clubhouse can be, and you make yourself relevant. If you can accomplish those things, the City of Swift, at the present, and it's public, we committed $250,000 towards a clubhouse. Mm-hmm. They went back to the drawing board.
Stinnett launches that into right field. Sorry to interrupt, but that's hit deep. And Stinnett deposits that towards Hayward Place in Swift. Alex Stinnett. After that Keel Crumweedy double, Stinnett, two-run bomb. Big crunch indeed. 9-0, 57's.
Beauty of a hit, Ryan.
So Stinnett celebrates with his teammates and Keel Crumweedy. Alex Stinnett, second-generation baseball player. His dad, Kelly, a former journeyman catcher in the majors. Played, I believe, most recently with the Arizona Diamondbacks, but New York Mets, St. Louis Cardinals. So awesome to have Alex in town here. And Kelly, if you're able to make it up this summer, we certainly would love to welcome you to Swift Current here.
Kelly, you make it up this summer, I'll take you for a tour of Swift. Me and you will get a guided tour of our city. How does that sound, Ryan?
And I know you love the guided tours with a stop at Black Bridge Brewery, too. So that might be worth the trip alone there, Kelly, and any other parent.
It's a manufacturing facility, Ryan, and it's always important to promote manufacturing in our community. They take 4 raw ingredients, natural ingredients, and turn them into a frosted malted beverage that many have come to enjoy. That's hard not to appreciate on a tour.
We'll let you finish the thought there. The Swift Current 57's.
Absolutely.
They came to you with a partner. It certainly wasn't give us free money, and you guys obliged.
It was the opposite.
Yep.
And since that time, we've had other community partnerships that have recognized how successful that was, and we now are getting a brand new score clock in our rink. I believe because of this partnership. Rather than our hockey team coming to us with hat in hand, they came to us with a plan for a beautiful new score clock, and they started the conversation with, we would like to pay half. That's a perfect, wonderful relationship, and that's effectively what we got out of this. The city's on the hook for half. The 57's, along with, again, Wallace Construction, Crutches Plumbing, and Flyer Electric, came together with the other half, and in my opinion, it couldn't have went any better. It's a beautiful facility, as everyone saw in the video, and I'm just proud that our players and our opposing players have a safe place to get changed.
Mm-hmm. Yep, indeed, and the dressing rooms are good. I know Robbie Dombrowski, the head coach of the Yorkton Cardinals, just made a point to come up here and say, wow, like, you guys got a good thing here in Swift. So.
Oh, I'm proud of it, and I think any city, any community needs to recognize what they are and what they aren't, and I really believe that our city is made up of very strong volunteerism. They're made up of a community that likes to support local sports, likes to support local events, and likes to have a good time. So we, the city, because we own all the facilities, all the rec facilities in our community, we need to understand that. That means we need to go out and bring these events to our community. We need to be supportive of our sports teams, but at the same token, we need to be supportive of our arts as well, because what we're finding is we're a hub for the whole Southwest. although we have 18,558 strong within city limits, our trading area is actually closer to 50,000. So for those that are listening, think a rural, very spread out trading area where people will be driving, say, 40 to 50 minutes. That would make sense for somebody to drive that far to come into the city to get groceries and to get services and to see their doctor and whatnot. So we go out of our way to bring big events here, and in my opinion, 57's baseball is one of those big events that we've got the good fortune to be able to do. So I'm proud of it. I'm proud of Coach Joe, proud of the board, proud of the volunteers, and thankful for our sponsors and our fans that continue to make it just a fun event here in our city.
You know who makes things fun is Jack Large at the plate right now. A few pitches ago, he swung out of his shoes almost, a big hack with evil intentions, and 3-2 the count now. Large battling out there.
Swings hard. He's worth the price of admission. He's huge, Ryan.
Oh, he's large indeed. Large and in charge. Oh, trying to catch Holin over at first, riding dirty there. 57's 9-0 lead after that 2-run home run by Alex Stinnett. We are in the bottom of the 5th. Large hits that one deep to right field. I don't know if that one has the necessary ingredients to clear the fence, but first out here. Tanner Holland still at first. Large flies out. Takes a lot of pitches.
Sponsored by Nutrient Ag Solutions. The left fielder, number 27, Zach Howard.
Logan McDougall with a good battle with Jack Large. Pitcher for the Yorkton Cardinals is Zach Howard to the plate now. Howard out of Land O'Lakes, Florida.
Land O'Lakes. Don't they make butter?
Land O'Lakes. Oh, we're selfieing up here. Having a bad hair day, but
looking sharp.
I'll partake. As Howard.
People need to see all this cool tech equipment you got here. It's awesome.
It pays the bills.
Now batting, sponsored by
Howard flies out. Holland stays put at first.
Colby Seltzer.
You didn't get that silver can in the shot, did you?
Oh, it's just a Diet Coke, fans.
Okay, yeah.
You're all good.
Professional operation here. Colby Seltzer now to the plate. 9-0 lead for the Swift Current 57's. 10 hits in this one so far for Swift to get 9 runs.
So what was Melville like this week, Ryan? How was that trip?
Mel Vegas. It was Mel Vegas. No, it was, you know what? I know we pride ourselves on being very, very friendly people here in Swift Current, which we certainly are, but you know, one of the more friendlier stops on the tour is when you go to Melville. Just a nice small town feel there. We went to a place called the Chocolate Bean Cafe.
Oh, sounds nice. Sounds classy.
It was actually just a nice little ma and pa coffee shop just off downtown in Melville, and there was a nice elderly lady who just pulled up right next to us at our table, pulled up a chair right beside us, carried a photo album with her, and just started sharing her life story there. So, no, just making new friends when we were there, and you know that's the thing with a lot of these small towns. I mean, you never get that in a big city. Just a nice person, a stranger, basically going up and had newspaper clippings. Very, very proud of her kids and grandkids' accomplishments. Carried it with her. So, no, Melville was good as Colby Seltzer hits that one on the screws, but it's gonna be right in the glove of the left fielder, and that'll do it. But every city on the tour has its charm,
Yep.
Like you go to Brooks, maybe they don't have the biggest, most state-of-the-art facility, but they're pumping the tunes all the time. They're having fun there. It's a good, fun experience. Same thing. You go to Weyburn, people there similar to Melville, like a small town, like visiting Swift Current. And then you go to the Okotoks. I don't know if you've ever been to Seaman Stadium in Okotoks.
It's pretty. It's something to see, folks.
It is a monument to Alberta capitalism, let me tell you. It is.
Oil was at $150 a barrel when that was built.
Oh, and it was fabulous. But and you know what? To their credit, and over the years, the Okotoks Dogs, we joke about them being the evil empire of the league,
we do.
and the New York Yankees. But having a nice stadium is one thing, but being able to consistently fill it, like a tip of the cap to that organization, because they're able to do that. I remember a few years ago, the then Swift Current Indians were playing in Okotoks, and it was an overcast, rainy night. We weren't even sure that we were going to get a baseball game in. And on TV that night was Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals between Pittsburgh and the Detroit Red Wings.
Oh, absolutely, yep.
And there were still 2,000 people there.
That's unreal.
So, I mean, that's a nice stadium and all that. And, the Dogs organization certainly had some lucky bounces, but the fact is they've made hay while the sun shined. And They're the crown jewel franchise. But, Edmonton does a great job. They have the 10,000-seat Remax Stadium that was a AAA ballpark back in the day. It's magnificent. And even Fort McMurray, going up there, Fort Mac isn't the proud city that it was when oil was $100 a barrel. But the facility there was built during those prosperous times, and it's just an amazing facility up there, too. When we were in Fort Mac, actually, there was a Toby Keith concert happening next door.
Wow.
They have a football stadium there that doesn't get a lot of football games,
right.
so they just get Toby Keith up there to just play a random show. Toby Keith wasn't on tour or anything. It's just where Fort McMoney, as they're often called.
They often are. The Western Canada Summer Games, Ryan, will be hosted here in Swift Current in August, and the last city to host was Fort McMurray 4 years ago. So Fort McMoney, and they built a ton. I think their capital spend was $20 million at the time. They put in a lot of nice things like their ballpark, and we're hopefully to do it for about a fifth of the price is our goal for this experience, and I still think we're going to put on a good event.
I don't doubt that. As Finnegan Duffield is in to pitch now for the 57's, the big lefty out of Edmonton.
Number 23, Nick Hoyt.
Logan Garza leaves this game actually having not surrendered a hit, so Finnegan Duffield will carry on. Finnegan, big lefty out of Edmonton. A 9-0 57's lead, and there's the first hit of the ballgame for the Yorkton Cardinals as Nick Hoyt here in the top of the sixth with one out, singles into left field.
Now batting, the pitcher, number 15, Logan McDougall.
Logan McDougall now, who's played third base and is pitching, will step up to the dish now. 9-0 57's lead. Looking forward to tomorrow night, Medicine Hat Mavericks in town.
You bet.
First look at Med Hat this year.
What's preliminary reports, Ryan?
Well, I think the word to describe what's going on in Medicine Hat this year is underachieving.
Okay.
I think that they're a squad that they're kind of battling it out with Fort McMurray for position in that final playoff spot in the West. They're a very, very well-run organization. Scott Morrison is the owner out there, and he's a former player in the league, a former pro player. He was part of the Blue Jays organization back in the day. And they're typically an amazing organization, league champs last year. But, this year, just for whatever reason, and, the month of June and the month of July, it's often a tale of two different months in this league. I think they struggled in June, but they're a team who I would really expect to really blossom in the coming months here. So hopefully not at our expense tomorrow night.
Agreed. I'm definitely hoping. I'm excited to see them. I've heard the same, and it should be a fun night tomorrow night here in Swifty.
When Swift Current and Medicine Hat meet in any sport, it tends to be an adventure, and I know this year in hockey season, the Broncos are moving back into the Central Division in the Western Hockey League to renew a relationship with Medicine Hat as lumber is put to baseball, and that's through the legs of Brozovic, as runners are going to advance here. A single and then doubling on the error is that Cardinals player Huber.
Now batting, right fielder, number 9, Noah Barron.
A single and then an E8 promotes him to second base as Noah Barron will take a turn now.
So for those that are listening that might not know everything geography for the province of Saskatchewan, we, the city of Swift, are right on Highway 1, number 1, our Canada Highway, and if you go straight to our left, you just go a hard west, 220 kilometers, you'll hit the city of Medicine Hat. So it's why we've been rivals in ball and hockey, and this past year in lacrosse as well for some of our other teams. And it's a short jaunt. It's one of our closest other cities, and I'm excited definitely to see them. I like having a rivalry with that city, and I enjoy going out to Medicine Hat to support our local teams when they're playing there. Tell you what, Ryan, if we're in the playoffs with them this year, I'll be on the bus with you. We'll go watch a few games.
Yep, trip will be made, and it'll be fun. And, I look for them to be strong down the stretch, although that Alberta division in the league is so competitive. Fort McMurray, I think they might be starting to figure out a bit as a franchise underneath Coach Ray Brown, as he spent the last few years in Edmonton and coached teams to league finals, back-to-back league finals against us here in Swift. So Ray Brown making the offseason move to Fort Mac, and that might be just what the doctor ordered for that franchise. So,
and that is a far trip. We the 57's will not have to make that trek this year. It's over a 10-hour drive in a car, probably a little better than that in a bus. So kind of a blessing for us. But they were here just 2 weeks ago, Ryan, 3 weeks ago.
Fort Mac, yep, just a couple weeks ago.
and I'm thankful that our guys don't have to go all the way up there, even though it is a beautiful stadium. It is a nice city, but the less hours on the bus, I think the better our players play.
Bottom of the 6th is coming up. You know, it was fun, though, when they did make that trip, and I know that there's 57's alums that are watching this, and they'll chuckle about this. When they took that massive 11-hour bus ride, you know what they did the entire bus ride up there? They watched, and it actually became a rallying point for the team. They watched the entire Transformers movie series. It was just Transformer movies over and over again.
That's fun.
And it actually became a thing where we did some production elements here at the ballpark. We had the theme from the Transformer movies.
Oh, wow.
And we had like Optimus Prime quotes
I
here
remember
motivating
that.
the guys.
Absolutely.
And then they went out and won a league championship after that. And you know, midway through the season they were good, but I don't think they were expected to win at all. So
No, that's true.
it's amazing the things that teams gel around over the course of a season. And for whatever reason, that trip to Fort Mac, that massive bus ride and watching Transformer movies was a bit of a rallying point for the team that year. I mean, we're not ready to give Michael Bay a championship ring or anything like that. I mean, it was still the coaches and the players that made it happen. But yeah, those long bus rides, while it may not seem desirable on paper, there's certain intangibles that can happen that just really bring a team together.
Oh, that's fair.
And yeah,
that's fair. I stand corrected, Ryan, because I wouldn't be signing up for that.
Yep.
I would definitely not be too excited for that bus ride. Transformers or not, but like you said, it's a way for the kids to gel.
Yep.
It's a way for them to get together and find common ground. So that's fun. I hope they can do that in a couple of short bus rides.
Yep.
Maybe we can get a couple of 30-minute TV series we can have them get tied into on the way to. Who's our next away game?
Next to it, well, back to Mel Vegas on Thursday.
That's right.
We got a game to make up, as last night ended rather abruptly, and then I don't know if we'll do a full 9 or a full 7 after that. Normally, when there's like multiple game scenarios in the same day, they just do 7. So I'm not sure if that's the plan or not. It was 4-0 Melville after 3 last night.
That's right.
Before lightning entered the area and some pretty crazy rain that the boys had to drive home through as well. As Sykes into pitch now for Yorkton, and he induces a swinging strike from Jared Binsfield. 1-1 the count now here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Still a 9-0 57's lead here on the strength of 10 hits and 1 Yorkton Cardinal error. The 1-1 breaking ball just a bit off the plate. 2-1 the count now. Binsfield at the plate. Toby Allred on deck. Fun night at the ballpark tonight as we speculate, close to 500 enjoying taking this one in. Binfield hits that one on the screws, as that was about
Nice
letter
play.
height. Nice single for Jared. And now Toby Allred out of Anthem, Arizona. You visit Arizona on occasion, don't you?
I have been known to frequent the Phoenix, Scottsdale area and a little bit down to the south in the Santan Valley. It's a nice place to definitely be in the wintertime. Again, for those that aren't from here that happen to be listening, it gets to minus 40 degrees at times in the winter, and even if you're ice fishing in a hut with the furnace on, that's still kind of nippy. So it's kind of nice to duck out for a few sleeps anyway to head down to Arizona. And definitely a disproportionate of players on our team from Arizona this year, Ryan. It's kind of interesting, always interesting to see where these kids are coming from, but got quite a few from Arizona.
Arizona seems to be the place to go this year, yeah. And it's interesting over the years, there's been, and, a lot of the states are still represented, but there's been heavy Nebraskan years, there's been heavy Idaho, Oregon years. There's been heavy Northern California years. And just, for whatever reason, the way the cookie crumbles this year is a heavy Arizona, Texas presence on this team.
Yep, definitely. So that's straight south, a shot straight south of the lovely land of the living skies, Saskatchewan.
Allred, like the Toby was willing to let that one hit him and take it for the team as he didn't get out of the way. He just braced himself for it. 2-1 the count. Like what Toby brings to the plate. We talked about the attitude of these kids.
Exactly.
A skilled baseball player as it is, but, a guy who's gotten involved with the community and helped out and just brings a good attitude to the park every day. 3-1 now the count to Toby.
Big time, and it's so much fun to see these young men out in the community, see them interacting with the kids, seeing them at Market Square, seeing them at other events. It means a lot. These kids become or these young men, I call them kids, these young men become heroes to our young people here in Swift Current. And again, it's a testament to Coach to continue to bring these character, true leaders to our community.
It's a challenge this year too with this 56 game schedule. Like I think the boys have 2 days off in July. And there's been lots of times where on a game day they've still managed to spare some guys for community appearances and such, but it's a busy summer.
It is. It's not enviable. And talking to our Bill at Corbett, he was explaining to us that that's the way a lot of collegiate summer baseball is. It's very compressed. The difference being up here in this league is a lot of these teams are geographically separated. When you're talking, an 8-hour drive, a 10-hour drive, talking with Corbett, Sima Devia from Noonan, Georgia, our boy number 33, he shared with us that that's not the case in some of the other leagues he's seen. A lot of them are far closer to one another. We are, I'm just trying to think, what the furthest community we would be almost 450 miles, 500 miles away. Like those are big, those are pretty staggering numbers, Ryan.
Well, and we're pretty centrally located. So you'd get in a scenario where you have Yorkton to Fort McMurray. That's probably, I would think, close to like 1,200 kilometers as the crow flies almost.
As the crow flies, likely 1,300 or 1,400 in a car. So my metric to Imperial is a little tricky, but probably 750 miles or so. It's that's a trek.
Brozovic hits that ball way up to left field. Catch is made. Runners at first and second retreat. One down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. A 9-0 57's lead. But yeah, a lot of those other summer collegiate leagues, very regional. Whereas here, I mean, it's a pretty large swath is cut by this league.
You bet. And I like it. I mean, I'm a little biased, but I'm really proud of our 57's and proud that a community of 18,558 can consistently support, not just in attendance, but for those that are watching, you'll notice there's a lot of banners and a lot of signage out at the end of our ballpark. You'll notice that on all of our buildings, it's because of our sponsors that just step up all the time to ensure that we've got this quality product right here in our community, and it's fun. It's definitely something that people rally behind. Ryan, I'm sure you remember 2 years ago when we won the championship. There was 1,200 people here at the ballpark. It was bananas.
I'll never forget that one.
I won't either. I had a failed pitch that night, Ryan. It's hard to forget.
Oh, you gotta put that one past you, man. You gotta put that one past you.
A couple of my buddies still have video. It got brought up again this week at coffee. So for those that are listening, it happens sometimes. I think we see it all. Some guys get a little nervous at the mount. That particular day, if I remember right, was a couple too many wobbly pops before making it up top to the mount, and it was a lesson learned for all. But that'll always be held really strong in my memory. Coach came right over to me right away, and he said, "You know what, Denny? You tell the players that you did that on purpose. You did it to loosen them up." And turns out we won that night.
Yeah. Hey, exactly. If you could do it all over again.
I'd do it again, same.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Exactly.
I did it for them. It was totally intentional.
Would you have rather have thrown a strike and we lost that night?
Absolutely
Heck no.
not.
Yep.
That night will be forever ingrained as a fun night where you and I got to drink out of a pretty fun cup. Very special night. And again, credit to all the people that continue to do that in a relatively small market. I'm always impressed by that, Ryan.
Yeah, no, it was a fun night of celebration for sure, and I know that's the expectation every year for this organization. Some teams, they, we want to make the playoffs this year. We want to be respectable with, I always call it the Hockey Canada expectation.
Yep, that's right.
Because we're all or nothing here. And Joe, if he wins a championship, he'll be happy in the off season, and it's a long off season. And if he doesn't, then he can be a tough guy to be around.
Well, exactly. And, Coach Joe and all the people around him work so hard all throughout the off season to get these introductions to these young men. To talk to
Keel Crumweedy at the plate, fly ball right field. Binsfield may tag up here. Let's see if we get a run here. Nope. Catch is made in right. 9-0 in the bottom of the 6th. They'll pump the brakes on Binsfield. 2 down now. You were saying.
I was just saying about Coach. He works hard to find these kids, these young men, off in the off season. He works to find again character players. The other thing I'd like to just highlight, you'll notice there's a lot of big kids on our team. The young fellow that stays in our basement is 6'4", I think, like 230, size 14 boots. Like there's a lot of physically big young men that we've got this year that we definitely see it at the plate. Uh, these are athletes, and Coach Joe has just done an incredible job to build, in my opinion, a top quality product again this year for our community, and it's exciting, and it shows. I mean, we're up 9-0 right now, Ryan.
Yeah.
Seven runs in the first inning.
Yeah.
That's a testament to this team.
I had the privilege of having a look at Joe's roster just before opening day, and it had heights and weights on there. And I had two thoughts there: one, are we recruiting a football team or a baseball team? And two, we're gonna have to find a new way to budget for more groceries for billet families, because there's some big boys out there.
That's a fair comment. They definitely eat lots when they're home. The advantage, I guess, is they are on the road a little bit, so that helps.
Yeah.
I know for us, we have fun when Corporate can bring the buddies over. It's a good time, and we call it pizza night on those nights. You order a few pies, and it's incredible to me how fast those boys can plow through the pie.
Oh yeah.
It's a good time, and it's fun for my little guy who's 8, getting a chance to have these big brothers that come over, and they play mini sticks. So for people that might not have seen that before, these are a very small hockey stick. I'm just kind of it's got to be about 2.5 feet long, right?
Yeah.
Am I close?
As Alex Stinnett walks here, but yeah, it's you mini sticks is basically hockey played from your knees with tiny sticks and often a hacky sack or a tennis ball or whatever.
Yeah, soft puck is what we're using in my basement. My basement is totally shredded from sticks and elbows and everything else, and it's fun. And these boys, you should see them. I gotta start taking some pics. Their cheeks are just rosy red, and they're just sweating buckets because Luke's still standing. He's not on his knees yet, so he can wheel pretty good. And these boys are on their knees, just all struggling to try to get that puck. It's fun, and we enjoy it. We're introducing a new sport, and I call mini sticks a sport. We introduced this new sport to these kids, and it's just a good time, Ryan. And it's great, again, to see these guys interact. And my goal is to have them enjoy Canada to a point where maybe they'll experience it later on. Come up for a holiday or consider coming up here. We've got lots of great opportunities in the north.
Geez, for the third time, the 57's leave the bases loaded tonight as Tanner Holen flies out to right field. A well-hit ball, but not too far away from where the right fielder is standing. I don't think anyone's too stressed given the 9-0 score, but in any event, that'll do it for the 57's in the 6th.
You betcha. And with that, Ryan, I think I'm going to head back and finish watching the game with Leah, with the First Lady of Swift Current.
Yeah, the First Lady. We do enjoy when Leah and Luke are at the park tonight, the first family here. So, yeah, family night out. We always appreciate you coming up here and joining us on commentary. Whether it's home or away, you're always welcome up here, and we'll always have a spot for you, Denny.
Thanks, Ryan. You keep up the good work. And for those that are listening and watching, if you get a chance, come up to Old Swift. We'd love to show you around. It is where life makes sense.
Right on. Thanks, Danny.
Courtesy of our local subway.
Leading off for the Yorkton Cardinals, the first baseman, number 28, Jason Wallace.
So Jason Wallace to the plate from Fontana, California. 260 batting average coming into this contest. Kind of got carried away with his worship Mayor Dennis Perot. 5 innings of work for Logan Garza, striking out 6, facing 15. Didn't walk anyone. Didn't allow any hits or runs either, so a solid start for Garza. Duffield since then an inning of work, allowing 2 hits, striking out 1, facing 5. 2-2 pitch. Duffield induces a long foul ball. Count remains 2-2 to the leadoff hitter Wallace.
We're going to get that foul ball and bring it back to the souvenir booth to get a Looney.
And that'll do it. Duffield bringing some heat.
And that's
One
a
down.
Madison Agriculture strikeout for Finnegan Duffield. Now batting, the center fielder, number 6, Phil Whelan.
Phil Whalen now with 1 away. Finnegan Duffield induces a fly ball. Toby Allred blew a tire, and oh my. Where dirt meets grass, Toby trips, and that gave that ball
Now batting, the Swift Card
the time it
Water
needed to
batter,
land.
The catcher, number 30, Matthew Corman.
So a hit for the Yorkton Cardinals, as no one was able to get to that ball. After Allred was snake bit there, en route to bringing it down, the catcher Corman to the plate now, runner on at first. First pitch Duffield outside, 1-0 with 1 on. Duffield, fastball, left field, caught.
And with
Zach
that out,
Howard.
beer is on sale at the Time and Energy Beer Booth.
2 away.
This concession until the end of this inning. Now batting, the third baseman, number 27, Trenton Lee.
Trenton Lee, third baseman. Ball is drilled into the backstop for strike 1. Fastball from Duffield, swinging strike, 0-2. One and 2. And that'll do it. Finnegan Duffield
And that's another Patterson Agriculture
with another strikeout as he
Finnegan
takes
Duffield.
care of Lee.
No runs, one hit.
Bottom
no
of
errors,
7
and
coming
one
up,
man
9-0
left on.
57's.
After 6.5 innings, it's 9-0 in favor of the Swift Current 57's over the Yorkton Cardinals. And now, fans, it's time for the Supplement King 7th inning stretch. defensive change for the Yorkton Cardinals, now catching number 5, Cade Corbett.
Cade Corbett in to catch for the Cardinals. Tristan Seitz is pitching. Seitz, the native of Lumsden, Saskatchewan. And Ryan McDeach in to pinch hit.
57's pinch hitter number 5, Ryan McDeach.
So Seitz working against McDeach. Strike 2. One down. Ian McIntyre now taking a turn.
Sponsored by Nutrient Ag Solutions, pinch hitter number 37, Ian McIntyre.
So McDeach hitting where Large was in the lineup, and Ian McIntyre coming in hitting where Zach Howard was. Howard 2 for 4 with a run scored. Colby Seltzer still in the game on deck. McIntyre slashes that ball foul towards the 57's bullpen. One and one. Seitz paints the outside corner, righty on righty. 1 and 2 with one away. Tristan Seitz breaking ball. McIntyre way out in front of it. Strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Tristan Seitz.
Now batting, sponsored by SWT, the third baseman, number 28, Colby Seltzer.
Pitch down and out. Taken by Seltzer. Breaking ball in. 1 and 1. One and one. Breaking ball 2 and 1. Fastball down and out, pardon me. 3 and 1 now. Shot by Seltzer as he finds some vacant grass in the 5-6 gap. Seltzer now 2 for 3 and a couple of walks.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 26, Jared Binsfield.
So Jared Binsfield with 2 down in the bottom of the 7th, a 9-0 57's lead. 7 runs in the first, and then 2 in the 5th for Swift Current. Alex Stinnett has homered tonight. Binsfield to left field, diving, and no water in the pool. As they pump the brakes at third base, Binsfield with a double. Seltzer moves to third. So a 2-out double by Binsfield, putting runners in scoring position for Toby Allred. Toby already with a couple of RBI. He's 1 for 2 with a run scored and 2 runs batted in. Curveball stays up, 1-1. Fastball up, 2-1. .57's hosting the Medicine Hat Mavericks tomorrow and Friday, as Allred hits that ball a mile up in the air to left field. Catch made by Hoyt, who's played all over the diamond in this one tonight.
No runs, 2 hits, no errors.
2 left stranded.
After 7 innings, it's 9-0 in favor of the
Still a
Swift Current
9-0 lead for the 57's, top of 8 coming up.
Now time for the Wallace Construction ball toss for cash. For that, let's go back down to Kyle.
I'm here with Kai and Sean for the Wallace Construction ball toss for cash. 3 chances to win some moolah. Kai's up first, let's go. Close. One more. Oh, really close. Sean's up next. See if you can win some money. Ooh, close. Really close. Oh, really close. Thanks from Wallace Construction.
This pitching change brought to you by Bruce Stagg at Cypress Motors. Now pitching for the Swift Current 57's, number 33, Corbett Simadavia.
All right, well, Corbett's going to get some work here for the 57's. 33 out of Noonan, Georgia, entering the ball game. Corbett Simadavia.
Defensive changes for the Swift Current 57's. Both Ryan McDeach and Ian McIntyre will stay in the ball game. McDeach will play at first base, and McIntyre will move out to left field.
McDeach at first base, McIntyre in left field, Howard and Large subbed out. Finnegan Duffield, 2 innings of work. He surrendered 3 hits, but struck out 3 and faced 9. Garza taken out after 5 innings. Didn't allow a hit or a run. Didn't walk anybody.
The shortstop, number 18, Grant Kosanke.
So Corbett Simadavia, first assignment is shortstop Grant Kosanke out of Slinger, Wisconsin. Nick Hoyt, the Maritimer, on deck, and Tristan Seitz out of Lumsden also due up here. Corbett, right-handed pitcher, fastball, just misses down. One 0 count. Corbett, 1 hopper. Sima Devia, fastball. Into the mid of Keel Crumweedy.
Now batting, the
Line out to
left fielder,
6.
number 23, Nick Hoyt.
Nick Hoyt. Hoyt, fly ball, right field, Binsfield makes the catch, battles with the sun in his eyes a little bit for the second out.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 14, Tanner Huber.
Tanner Huber, playing second base coming into this at bat, is also pitched. First pitch fastball up.
Yeah, one's on deck.
2-0.
I'm going to say he's a pinch hitter. And if he pitches it.
Ground ball, hit to first. Meg Deach flips to Sima Devia, who's covering, and that'll do it for the top of the 8th. Still a 9-0 57's lead.
No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on. After 7.5 innings, it's at 9-0 in favor of the Swift Current 57's over the Yorkton Cardinals. Make sure to check out the Swift Current 57's website. Updated stats and standings, player profiles, and news and upcoming events, all available at swift57s.ca. And the Swift Current 57's would like to thank JTS Bus Lines, the official carrier of the team. It's now time to check your RBC Wealth Management Playbacks bingo cards again. Here are the numbers you should have crossed off so far. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 22, 23, 25, and 26. If you have a bingo, bring your card to the souvenir booth for verification. This pitching change brought to you by Bruce Stagg and Cypress Motors. Now pitching for the Yorkton Cardinals, number 11, Derek Trevino. And defensive change, now playing right field for Yorkton, number 1, Peyton Harris. Leading off for the Swift Current 57's, the center fielder, number 21, Torin Brozovic.
Torin Brozovic up, short, catch. 1 down. Bottom of the 8th, 9-0 57's.
Now batting, sponsored by ACT. Now batting, pinch hitter number 1, Brody Alexander.
So Brody Alexander, the local boy, gets an AB here. Oh. Breaking ball. And that's up. So Brody, from Swift Current, high school aged kid.
So Yorkton
1-1 after the swinging strike by Brody. Good take by Brody, 2-1. Good thing with these blowout games, and as a team, they're tough when you're on the business end of them, but when you're on the giving end, I mean, they're nice for stats, but you don't really learn much from them, so it's nice to have these opportunities to get guys like Brody in there. As he puts lumber to baseball, and a single for Brody. Nice little piece of history. First WCBL hit for the Swift Current kid. Just hit that over top of the second baseman. And they're going to keep that baseball in the dugout. First hit by Brody. So that'll go in his stall in the new clubhouse. Happy for Brody there. Stinnett. Swing and a miss. Alex has a homer tonight. Stinnett 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored. He hits that to right field where the catch is made for the second out.
Now batting, sponsored by Living Sky Casino, the designated hitter, number 40, Tanner Holland.
Tanner Holland with 2 down. 14 hits this game for the 57's compared to 3 for the Cardinals. Ground ball and unassisted out at second base. As the force applied, 8 innings in the book, 9-0 lead for the 57's.
No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on. After 8 innings complete, it's 9-0 in favor of the Swift Current 57's over the Yorkton Cardinals. Fans, it's now time for tonight's Innovation Credit Union 50-50 draw. Tonight's draw is worth $275, and the winning number is 63989. 63989. If you have that number, please go to the souvenir booth to claim your prize. Next home game for the Swift Current 57's tomorrow night when they welcome the Medicine Hat Mavericks to Mitchell Field. First pitch at 7:05. Come early and enjoy the game. This pitching change brought to you by Bruce Day and Cypress Motors. Now pitching for the Swift Current 57's.
Waletsky.
Number 43, Mitchell Waletsky. Defensive changes for the Swift Current 57's. Now playing third base, number 1, Brody Alexander. Now playing shortstop, number 28, Kobe Seltzer.
So Mitchell Waletsky in to mop this up.
Number 1, Peyton Harris.
9-0 the score. Peyton Harris, AB.
Peyton Harris is the number 2 guy.
Waletsky grabs that for the 1-3, flipping to McDeach.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 28, Jason Wallace.
1 pitch and 1 out. We'll be back at it tomorrow night. Medicine Hat's in town. I hope that you can join us for that one. Medicine Hat Mavericks here at 7:05. And then Swift Current goes to Melville. And then Medicine Hat's back here Friday. Waletsky induces a fly ball to right field. Binsfield makes the catch. 2 pitches, 2 outs for Mitchell Waletsky.
Now batting, pinch hitter number 6, center fielder number 6, Phil Whalen.
Phil Whalen out of Canmore, Alberta. Last offensive hope for the Cardinals, down 9-0, 2 away here. Waletsky, strike 1. Breaking ball, strike 2. 1-1 the count with 2 away. Fastball up. Now 1-2. Waletsky 1-2. That'll do it. Fastball punctuates this one. Swift Current 57's shut out the Yorkton Cardinals.
The Yorkton Cardinals 0. Fans, stick around for tonight's Boston Pizza Player of the Game presentation and your game summary.
Alex Stinnett homered in this game, had a couple of RBI. Colby Seltzer 2 for 3 with a couple of walks. Got to give props to Logan Garza, though. 5 innings of work, no runs, no hits, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 6. Well, that'll do it for another edition of Swift Current 57's Baseball. They'll give some high fives to the peeps here in just a little bit. And we'll see you tomorrow night. Medicine Hat Mavericks are in town. 57's propelled by 7 first-inning runs, shut out Yorkton, 9-0. Good night from Swift.